My name is Christian. I'm the founder of Uncharted Supply, like Andy just said. That's my dog, Baron. He's usually with me all the time, so I had to throw a picture in of him. But like Jason, I'm a big dog guy. But at Uncharted, we build products designed to make you the hero of your own story. And how it started was survival kits. As Andy mentioned, 72-hour kits. I started with an idea around that. And we do a lot of that still today, but we also focus on what I call prepared adventure. Getting all the way out there and all the way home, whether you're hunting, biking, overlanding, whatever it is. My goal is to make sure people can adventure safely, and make it through the unexpected. So for many of us here, fitness is life, and I was trying to think about how to tie in survival and what I do with what this crowd is really interested in. Fitness is core to me, it's core to all you guys, it's what you love, but today I want to talk about a slight variation on fitness, and that's how fitness can save your life. And I'm not talking about cholesterol or blood pressure or getting rid of some fat, that kind of thing, but I'm talking about the stuff that makes you, as we like to say at Uncharted, hard to kill. So that's what I'd like to talk about today. So first though, I want to take a step back. As our brand has grown, more and more, like every day I get a dozen messages from people that say, hey, I believe what you guys are saying, the world's changing, I need to be more prepared, but which product should I buy? Now, I think everybody here knows that telling somebody to buy a specific product is not the end goal, it's not the whole solution. I would be full of shit if I was saying, buy this product and you're good to go. So, over the last few years I've thought a lot about this. How do we take people from all walks of life, all experience levels, and how do we guide them through becoming more self-sufficient? My belief is the only way we get through anything in the world is if we can take care of ourselves and we can help others and we can work together. So through this, our gear is important, but that's only part of the story. So what we launched a few months ago now is an email newsletter called The 4 Pillars. I actually flew down to Phoenix, Arizona and worked with my buddy Travis Haley. He's a famous Force Recon Marine, really smart guy. And I said, Travis, I need you to help me figure this out. I think he's a great thinker. And we spent a couple days just putting everything on whiteboards and all the different skills we could think of, just throwing it up there. And really what it came down to is we narrowed this down into 4 pillars. And so, my perspective is no matter how prepared you are, you can always improve, you can always learn. And it's a pretty diverse resource that you need to be able to kind of keep thinking about this. So the 4 pillars for us are community, resources, resourcefulness, and mental and physical fitness. Community. So Charles Darwin is famous for preaching survival of the fittest, but what he spent most of his time on was the power of community, whether it was bringing down a woolly mammoth or defending from an invading army. The only way humans ever got through anything was through community and working together. It's also very critical when you bury your snowmobile in the Wasatch Mountains and you've got to make sure you've got some friends around to get you out. I thought that was a kind of a fun, small community example there. But who are your relationships with? How do they work when things go sideways? Who do you call? What skills do they have? It's a really important thing to think about when you're thinking about emergency situations. Resources. We're all here because we're all gear whores, right? I definitely am. We all like the GoRuck stuff. I think we make great stuff at Uncharted. We all know that cotton kills. We all know that the wrong shoes are going to ruin your day, and a bad fitting backpack is going to leave you blisters and everything else. So gear is a piece of this, and that's what we like to call resources. Resourcefulness is you've got the fishing pole. Can you catch a fish? Do you know what they're eating? Can you change a car tire? Can you do it in the dark? Can you do it without the right exact tools? So there's unlimited skills to collect throughout life to make sure that you can kind of take on whatever shows up. And then lastly is mental and physical fitness. And this is where I want to spend a little time today. I love this picture. My buddy and I just went for a long run, and we decided when we found mountain goats, we'd gone far enough that day. That's on the top of Timpanogos, outside of Park City where I live. But I think we all know that 4-wheel trucks, Gore-Tex jackets, and even some skills are not enough to overcome if you can't make it up a mountain, if you're out of shape, if you're compromised. But everybody here is good to go, right? We're all fitness enthusiasts. Well, maybe. I mean, for me, the way I look at it is we've all got our preferred fitness levels, our preferred fitness activities. We all have the things we like to do, whether it's rucking or crossfitting or This is a triathlon I did in Iceland. And we kind of get into these grooves, and we kind of focus on what we're good at and what we like to do. But what I want to do is challenge you guys on a few things to add to your fitness regimens that hopefully will improve your ability to navigate when life throws you a curveball. So a few points here, 4 points. I think these are really important things when you're thinking about fitness. First of all is diversity of environment. So most of us go to a gym, we've got a membership, it's at the same temperature every day. We pick up a clean towel, put our headphones on, play the song we want, maybe take pre-workout at the right time. Maybe we have a eucalyptus spray in the steam room. You know, it's really nice, right? But it's not helpful. Emergencies happen in shit weather. They happen at inopportune times. So my perspective is you should train for those moments. Train uncomfortably. The things I've got listed here is go run hills. Go run hills when they're muddy and they're slippery, or maybe they're rocky. You know, run away from home so you have to run back and there's no shortcut. I think Andy was talking earlier today how he goes and runs in Austin and then brings a scooter back if you've gone too far, right? So maybe that only works in certain cities anymore, but you know, I like to run away from home. So when I start wimping out on myself, I have no option but to get all the way back. Sometimes I don't bring water. I take this with a grain of salt. I mean, don't do that if it's 100 degrees, but I like to see how my body acts when I don't have everything I need. Do I have to slow down? Can I persevere? Can I figure it out? I think about different clothes, different boots. I just went for a hike the other day, and we're in that time of season in Utah where one side of the mountain's brown and the other is snow, and the snow can be 2 inches deep or 4 feet deep. And you're post-holing. Like, did my gaiters work well? Did the boots work? Are my hip flexors firing up? You know, these are all things you don't think about in a gym, but really become critical when you're trying to push through unique environments. Testing different clothing systems, you know, all this stuff is really important, I think, when it comes to diversity of environment. Second, diversity in training. So I'm sure you guys all heard the term farmer strong. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and I'll go home and my 70-year-old dad will still kick my ass to this day. It's just a lifetime of, it doesn't matter the weather, it doesn't matter what's going on. You get up, you are climbing in and out of tractors, you're shoveling grain, you're pulling cows around by halters. It's a hard life, and there's a diversity of movement and strength and perseverance that builds over time. These guys never went to a gym. I mean, it's just incredible when people kind of expand what they do every day, how strong and how durable you can become. So I know a lot of us don't live on farms anymore, but things you can do, you know, shovel your driveway instead of snow plowing, ride your bike to work, do things that are awkward, find the things you suck at and focus on those until you're as capable doing those as you are other things. Because in the end, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if you avoid those things, you guys all know that that's going to come back and bite you at some point. Diversity in training partner. This is a favorite picture of mine. That's Mirinda Carfrey on the left and Tim O'Donnell on the right. They're married. Rini has won the Ironman World Championships 4 times, and Tim's been on the podium, I think, 3. And that was after a 7-hour bike ride with them. So I've learned so much from training from people like this. I live in Park City, Utah. It's a city that's full of Olympians. And I always tell people, if you've seen the movie Jumanji, there's like a herd of animals that keeps running through the movie, and then there's this one rhino that's about 10 seconds late, you know, pulling up the rear all the time. And that's me in Park City, absolutely. But I'm also running with 28-year-old Olympians, and I'm 42. So it pushes me. And when time comes for me to compete with other people, I'm better than I would have been not doing that. Another story this winter, I was at the gym, and you kind of know everybody in a small town. There's a young guy there working out. We got talking, and he was a CrossFit competitor and a wildland firefighter from New Zealand. And he said, hey, come do some workouts with me. I said, cool, let's do it. And he wrecked me, you know, and it was fun. But then the next day, I took him and we went ski touring up the mountain at 4 a.m., and I wrecked him back, you know. So we're not always going to be good at everything, but I think those experiences show us our weaknesses. They help us get stronger, and in the end, we're better for it in the long run. Make it hard on your mind. This is a really important piece, I think, because a lot of times I think your mind fails you before your body does. So, a quote I had in here is, if pain comes first, pleasure follows. If pleasure comes first, pain follows. Training your brain to operate through difficult situations is really good for you. This is a picture from a moose hunt I did on the Yukon, British Columbia border. Probably one of my favorite life photos is a successful photo on the way out. But what you don't know is we did 134 miles in 4 days following this one moose on foot. And we finally got him. We had about a day and a half to get him packed up and get him back to our extraction point where the plane was coming. We, kind of cut him up and got him ready, went home back to where our tents were, which is about 6 miles away, where the horses were. And we woke up the next morning and it snowed a foot. And it had rained before it snowed, so it was icy everywhere. So usually, it's me and my guide. He's a 26-year-old kid from New Zealand. He's just the most amazing guide. He was half feral. He could find animals. He was incredible. But he didn't know snow very well. And so the two of us have 7 horses. These horses are in a string. The horses are falling. They're sliding into each other. They're getting cut. And Merlin, my guide, he lost it. He freaked out. It was too much for him mentally. It wasn't a physical problem. He had everything he needed. He started worrying about, we're not going to get back in time. We're not going to get the stuff. The horses are going to be injured. And he was making up things in his mind because he was uncomfortable. So it was a place where I had to take over. I was used to these environments. We slowed him down one step at a time. As you can see, we got out, got the animal out, got to the plane with a couple hours to spare, and we were good to go. So how do you train for that? That's a hard thing, right? I do what I can to test myself. I'll run for a while, kind of get lost, and see if I can figure my way out without using my Garmin and GPS. I'll do things at night when it's dark and see how my feet are stepping into the ground versus when you can see clearly. I just do whatever I can to challenge myself and to try to keep testing my mind in times like that. So one of my favorite sayings is get comfortable being uncomfortable. So when it comes to real-world performance, most emergency situations will occur in an opportune time in bad weather. And I just think that it's so important to train for those things and think about those things. So, fight off the urge to be comfortable. Michael knows a lot about that. I actually, when I was writing this, I was worried that we were going to be stepping on each other's toes because I subscribed so much to that thought process. But, whether it's temperature, effort, hunger, any number of things, you've all heard it, but our opportunities and success in life are directly proportional to your comfort zone. And by pushing on those edges, you're going to be more self-sufficient, you're going to be more durable, you're going to be more equipped to handle whatever comes your way. So I like this quote. I saw this once, and I just thought I would end with this for you guys. But the world will never get safer. It's never going to get easier. You just get stronger. So I want to leave you with that. Thanks for your time. We've got a tent over here. Come say hi. I'll be around all weekend, and thank you.